testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demonstration of the CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does your administration ensure that such enforcement action done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
What will George Weah, who is tempted by a Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink. You could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you we are vexed that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, he would have fallen in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Your respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when we came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded we are and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they can. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to pride in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency.
George Weah would never
this is a
ever buy
example
to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. These are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Good afternoon, people. Thank you so very kindly that you join us. Real Talk, Kings 88.5, May 19, 2026, the reign of Judah Christopher. Another day, another time, another right to speak truth to power. What a moment, what a time. We go real, intrepid. I'm Sam Andrews, and as always, Sam Andrews. Grateful we are to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over each and every one of us, the God who is so good, so faithful, so kind. Ultimately, the God who gives the ruler, the despot, the tyrant, the dictator time to repent of everything dictatorial or dictator. Otherwise than that, his anger, his vengeance, his wrath befalls as it did Nebuchadnezzar. Another day, we are grateful to that God that we serve, the God of justice, the God who doesn't like lies. The Bible says he hates lying lips. Why? He said lips, because everything is devised from the heart and it passes through the lips, come outside. So I can see why he would say to Jeremiah to tell us that the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can discern it thereof? And that was not a reference to just anybody, but the dictator, the tyrant, the despot, the Nebuchadnezzar, and all those with the Nebuchadnezzaric instinct. Thank you too for coming on. We appreciate all of you. You are so great, so massive, so extraordinary people. Yet, Emmanuel Bro, Minnesota, USA, Jean Jordan Matadi, District 10, Silva, Washington, Brove City, Solomon D. Silla, Malu Efofana, 20th Street Sinker, Joshua Morris, GSA Road, Randolph, that's Rudolph Lima, Emmanuel Yansim, Yekepa, Nimba County, Stanley Bozo, Congress City, Sugon Ayenin, Johnsonville, Stephen A. Batts, Dakar, Senegal, Joseph Kekula, Zuba Town, Claudie Allison, Delaware, USA, Solomon Carr, GSA Road, Buema Obento, Kiadi, Virginia, Hotel Africa, Andrew Woods, Swago Island, District 12, Amara Jala Kamara, Brussels, Belgium, Georgia Onewell, Jordan Sekou V. Dole, District, that's Kwadu Bonin District, Lofa County, Malta Poyo, Batnutsville Estate, Boima, that's Molba Beza, Philadelphia, USA, Venetians Bar, Nuclear Town, Claude de Port, Saturday Woodaware, GSA Road, Paris Slobot, New Jersey, USA, Pumayen, Grand Cape County, William Hoff, USA, Minnesota, Stephen Yakati, District 2, Lower McGibby County, Young Sedition, St. Paul Bridge, that's Vitan, across the bridge, Morris, Zodua, Mecklin Street, Waterside, Rising TV, Dallas, Texas, USA, Samson Carey, Bowman County, Jukontichie, Business Center, Jumon Colley, Your Residence, Mustafa, Melvin Mustafa, Solomon Carr, hey, my dear brother, Gion brother Stephen Coker, Stigo. Good to have you on, Stigo. Good to see you. Every time I see you, I'm excited. And thank God that you are in good shape. Thank you so much for everything. Stigo, welcome. Rita Christine Hits, Massachusetts, USA. Ritos. Lucia Lake, Dupont Road. My dear and beloved sister, Orita Sunday Way Choir. Hope that you are faring well. Thank you for coming on. And it's good to have all of you great people. The chairman himself, Roma Rico, Kenny Ball, Latupam, the one and only chairman, the melting pot chairman, the chairman that cuts across all race, creed, color, boundary. Yes, chairman, District Titan Intellectual Center, Roma Rico, Latupam, or Kenny Ball for short. Okay, all of you great people, thank you all for coming on. We can bring down all of the names because you are flowing like water or river flowing down the hill. Today is a great day, another great day. We are grateful to God Almighty. Yes, it would not be Unity Party's way. They succeeded with their deadly, nasty, satanic acts called propaganda. They are in power now. It would not be as they were in opposition. They will not impose their will on the people of this country. Unity Party is noted for war. One of their founding members, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, brought war into this country that killed thousands, almost millions of people and displaced thousands of people. They would not impose their will on this republic. This is the Republic of Liberia, not the Republic of Unity Party. If they want to reign here all by themselves, then they should exterminate every person who is not a part of Unity Party or does not support Unity Party, and let's see whether they have that will to do. Until then, this is the Republic of Liberia. So, let's go this way. Let's get started this way.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Working for your stomach. Stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who walk, the people lots, the government trigger, the people who walk, the people lie to us, the government betray us. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. They think we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's better things to be. We just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you screw us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people who are, the people last us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. My hope that I have been broken. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people who are, the people last us. The government betray us. So they lie. The people who are so, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can steal, they go not we tired with the promises that left us to allow our damages. We tired with the speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. They think we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's better things to be. We just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you screw us. You screw us. You use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people who are, the people last us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people who are, the people last.
So let's get off with what we've got on our plate. Then we are out of this place today. Again, don't be intimidated if you are a member of the opposition. Don't be intimidated. Don't show any sign of timidity. Don't attempt to worry, because if you did, they will continue to do what they are doing. The goal is to intimidate, to heighten the atmosphere. And so when you start to show signs of fear, giving in, then they will do it the more. Unity Party is not Unity Party by Unity Party. This is the Republic of Liberia. Let's get out of Liberia briefly, then we move on. Togo has scrapped visa requirements for citizens of all African countries, allowing stays of up to 30 days. According to local reports, citing a government statement, officials say the policy is intended to boost trade, tourism, and mobility, aligning with African Union efforts to strengthen regional integration. Under the new rules, visitors must complete an online travel declaration through the government's official platform at least 24 hours before arrival. The Togolese government said all relevant agencies and border authorities have been instructed to ensure immediate implementation of the policy across land, air, and sea entry points. Health authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo say at least 131 suspected deaths and more than 500 suspected cases have been reported in an ongoing Ebola outbreak in the country. According to the BBC and Reuters news agency, Public Health Minister Samuel Ruger cautioned that investigations are still underway to confirm how many of the deaths are directly linked to the virus. Officials say the outbreak is caused by the Bundibugyo strain, a rare variant of Ebola for which there are currently no approved vaccines or treatments. The World Health Organization's Director General, Tedros, said he is deeply concerned about the scale and speed of the epidemic and that the United Nations Health Agency will convene its emergency meeting, which is today, to advise on recommendations. And Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa has weighed in on a proposed constitutional amendment that could extend his time in office. In an interview with the national broadcaster Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, he said, any change or changes will follow constitutional processes and reflect the will of the people. However, critics argue that the move risks undermining democratic norms and accountability. The amendment under discussion seeks to adjust provisions that could prolong the presidential term beyond the current limit. The proposal has sparked debate in Zimbabwe, with supporters citing continuity and stability, while opposition groups raise concerns about governance and respect for term limits. Those are some of the events unfolding out of Liberia. Yesterday, I said, every government goes through or faces turbulent event. It is one of the ways, I believe, from a supernatural perspective, test a government and a president. We have the record of several African countries experiencing different kinds of epidemics and pandemics, and how they handle those crises. European also, even the United States, no exception to those events. In our country, we bear witness of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf battling Ebola, which we have before us. And the government did handle it meticulously and leadership-wise. Fast forward, we had former President George Weah and the Congress for Democratic Change government battling one of the world's deadliest crises that took the lives of thousands of people, that brought the entire war to a standstill, that supports of all kinds were limited because almost every country was affected. A country that wasn't affected had to manage their resources, had to put a mitigation plan in place so that it didn't affect them, it didn't reach their doors. So they were not reaching out to countries with assistance. They cut off every assistance and the focus on their domestic setting or prevention. So it made it hard for the government of George Weah to handle such. Ebola, it was the DRC, and then it spilled over into Liberia. It did not go to the rest of the countries, many African countries and European countries and America. No. From DR Congo, somebody caught it, passed through Togo, came to Liberia, through red light, pam. The disease started to spread. The symptoms were identified, helped people. But before then, it took an unprecedented toll. But the government then of former President Sully had all of the options because support was coming forth from every area. Unlike former President George Weah, every country, one way or the other, was affected by COVID-19. COVID-19 hit almost every country except for few. And those few put in a strong domestic policy, rigid one too, that part of it, if we're giving aid to countries, we will not. We have to use everything for our country. So it made it very difficult. I can vividly recall the only country that was some way, somehow helping Liberia was the United States of America. We were calling on America here and there. The George Weah government did manage, with every leadership ability, that crisis and brought it under control. Even though Unity Party comes with their grudge and say there was mismanaged of money used, giving for the crisis, and a lot more. Here they are. We are told that DRC, the latest report from DR Congo, 131 suspected deaths. 131 suspected deaths. Suspected death means you assume, but you're not sure. You can be definitive because people can die of different illness, different disease, different things. So though Ebola is in the country, so people can use this expression so that they will not, if it turns out not to be Ebola, then you say, oh yeah, but the people did not lie. That's why they can use the expression suspected until a forensic or full-scale investigation is conducted, or scientific investigation, if the science or the investigation prove that such death was the result of Ebola, then they treat it as Ebola death. That's why they say 131 suspected deaths. Before going further, let me say, when Ebola was about to have a serious toll on us, That's how it was coming out of DR Congo, and people were overlooking it. Again, we see the overlooking of it today. The people said, BBC is quoting the people as saying, the authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo, that at least 131 suspected deaths and more than 500 suspected cases, more than 131 deaths and more than 500 suspected cases. 131 persons have died. The suspicion is they may have died of something else, or they may have died of Ebola. 500 persons are suspected to have either different disease or Ebola. Again, please note that's why the people use the word suspect, meaning they are not scientifically, or they can be definitive until an investigation. So let's assume these 500 cases are Ebola cases and Ebola related. It is not very rare and normal, but individually, people would do that when they know that they have certain disease. They wouldn't go and tell people, this is what I have, for fear that they will mock them. They will say all manner of things, or people will avoid them, especially when it is a contagious disease. They will keep it. Why? They know that they are suffering. The disease is eating them up. They will not want to be affected or live with such all by themselves. So they will move from one end to another. And they wouldn't tell the people they are moving amongst that they have this, they have this. Normally, nobody would do that. So they will move from one end to another. 500 is not a small number. It's very likely that these 500 persons will spread everywhere, traveling from one end to another. And I think the disease is contagious. If it is not, please let me know. No one is infallible. We're not like the Unity Party people that claim infallibility. But the education we got from the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, we can say that it is contagious given how people contracted, how they caught Ebola. Till today, what we are hearing from the most clever government that ever existed on the face of the earth, Unity Party announcement. There is no plan in place. The MFA boss saying they prepare. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf people were saying the same thing. Ministry of Health, Dr. Luis Poto said they prepare. There is no Ebola. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Minister of Health, said the same thing. I'm saying this because I listened to all of those people, the same thing they said. These people are saying the same thing. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf people said the same thing, and before we could realize it, Ebola hit the country hard, and it had a serious toll. There's one thing making an announcement, it's another thing having practical plan in place. If you listen to the MFA boss, you listen to Dr. Poto, nothing practical to tell you of a contingency plan in place. They just gave assurance. Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. Nobody should be. Ebola not coming to Liberia. We are prepared. Liberia isn't prepared to combat it because they have not learned lesson from the first Ebola. They're making the same announcements, mere announcements. It is not about assuring. We can understand they try to go psychological, but the people still live with that psychological scar. So you cannot psychologize the people that don't know Ebola in the country. We prepare for Ebola. No. It's to now start telling the people this is what we are doing. The borders, we have strengthened the borders. We have done this. We have sent these people that we have done. We're doing this, we're doing that. Those are things the people want to hear. The people still live with that psychological scar. Imagine all those years. Who today hears about Ebola and will not be afraid? Except you weren't in Ellen's government and you didn't experience it. But every person who experienced Ebola, every person who experienced COVID-19 don't want to hear the word COVID-19, don't want to hear the word Ebola. When they hear the word Ebola, they get scared. That tension, that memory of the past come into the present. The rescue government is doing nothing. They've given an announcement. BBC is quoting the authorities of the RC as saying 131 suspected deaths, meaning 131 persons may have suspected to have died, or they have this suspicion that they died of Ebola. 500 suspected cases, meaning that the cases they are investigating, 500. Probably before I end the show, it might go to 700 or 1,150 suspected deaths. Now, the many cases, the many suspected cases, the likelihood of a spread. And the difficult part of this thing is the tracing aspect. When somebody moving from one end to another, how do you know? How do you determine? How do you trace that person? Somebody go and say somebody, they have it, that person does not know. The person contracts the signs, pam, that person becomes a carrier too. And then that person who contracts it goes to another person. Unknowingly, that person contracts it too. What happens? It's spreading here and there. What do you see, what do you hear in our country? Instead of the government being proactive, they are proactive by mere announcement. The people have heard repeated announcements. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government made announcements more than Unity Party. Bouaka himself knows because Bouaka was in that time. And nobody is best suited to tackle this thing than Bouaka. If the Unity Party government cannot tackle this, sorry to say, then the dullest person we ever have on earth as president is Joseph Yema Bouaka. You know why you experience a crisis? You know why the American people, they use all of those people in crisis? Because of their experience, the experts, what they went through, so that they know how to tackle future pandemic or epidemic. What do you see? We've been following the events from the very first day BBC reported this thing. We've been looking at Enfield, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. We've been looking at following the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. What they've been doing, just giving an announcement, mere announcement. We are prepared. We are prepared. How prepared are you? It's not to say you are prepared. It is for the people to say the government prepared. Because when you are prepared, you will not go with announcement. You will do, and the people will see, and they will say, yes, the government is prepared. As evident by what we see. Look at the border. The borders are still porous, still weak. People are penetrating, infiltrating. Look at everywhere. What the equipment you have. The government does not have any equipment. Mere statement made by the Minister of Health. Mere statement made by Enfield boss. What do you have? What do you have in place? What's the mechanism? What's the contingency? DR Congo is reporting staggering number every day. It was the same DR Congo. It passed through Togo. From Togo, it came. We used to be hearing in Liberia. Oh, this person came on. The person on a bus. They came through this on this bus and entered Waterside. Yeah, that's what we were hearing from the Ellen government. Before we can bat our eye, they started reporting deaths, suspected cases, cases of Ebola. The same thing is happening. Rescue. Instead of being vindictive, try to show leadership. You after people to put them in jail why you have pandemic coming. This is a litmus test for you, Unity Party people. A litmus test. Former President Weah, again, I should tell you, former President Sirleaf had Ebola. She demonstrated leadership. It came under control. Former President George Weah had COVID-19. He demonstrated leadership. It came under control. This is the rescue. You people criticize a lot. You people condemn people a lot. Now the time has come for you people. Every individual, every person, every institution has some kind of crisis coming his or her way or its way with time. And how you handle it, people know that you are either have leadership or you don't. This is your time. That's your time now. That's your time. Yeah, you're only after carrying people to jail. That's it. That will be doing it for that. Let's move to the next pointer. Let's get to the next pointer. So the law provides that whenever there is a vacancy in the House of Representatives or the Senate, the National Elections Commission should be notified, meaning informed, to tell them within 30 days. That means the House of Representatives, the Senate, has 30 days to organize itself with everything thereof to submit to the National Elections Commission. They have a period of 30 days, long time. Representative Yeke Koluba, and please, y'all help me with the calendar mathematics. If I'm wrong, you can tell me, I will retract it. Representative Yeke Koluba. I say representative because as far we know, as per the law, he's still representative. But they say they expel him. So for the discussion's sake, we're using the supposed expulsion. So now, yeah, is it hypothetically? The law says in 30 days, please notify or inform the National Elections Commission of a vacancy. He was, according to them, they expelled him on April 17. April 17. From April 17 to May 18. How many? Is it less than a month? My people, y'all help me. Y'all come on, y'all help me. If I'm wrong, then I put my hand up. I accept the misinformation. We apologize for it because we're not infallible like Unity Party. We accept the correction. But the record before us, April 17, 2026, from April 17 to May 19, how many days? How many days? 15 plus 15 is what? Y'all help us now. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Wait, I beg you. If we get water, I want to drink. If we get water to drink. Y'all tell me. He was. They said they expelled him April 17. Today is May 19. That's the time the people say they expelled the man. April 17. They said Yeke is expelled, and Unity Party people were excited. The law is the law. No rude person, no this, no that. Yeah. So the man say, no problem. No problem. Y'all expel me. No problem. He went to the court. The Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court will look into the matter, and they came out with something. They came out with something. So they expelled the man. They say they expelled the man on April 17. Today is May 19. From April 17 to May 19, 32 days. 32 days. And they have not informed the National Elections Commission. You want to ask yourself why they have not informed the National Elections Commission. You know why? Two things. One, they're not too sure of his expulsion. Two, that he had gone to the Supreme Court. This Supreme Court that they disrespected. They say the Supreme Court was non-entity. They now fearing the Supreme Court. Those are the two major issues, the two major concerns. They're not too sure that they expel him. So what are they going to tell the National Elections Commission? They're not too sure that the court will side with them. So the strategy is, hold on. Let us not notify the National Elections Commission. The matter is in court. It's gone to the Supreme Court. If we notify the National Elections Commission of a vacancy, there are too many concerns that will be raised, which will render everything immaterial. Moreover, is the National Elections Commission ready in terms of budgetary allocation for a by-election? You see? And nobody's, my people, you're listening to this, nobody put the country in this embarrassing situation, apart from Unity Party representatives, those other mumus that over there call themselves ethicists and moralists. Like one of them would say, if they call me to sign a resolution 20 times, I will sign it. How dull of a people, you're not looking at the implications. You are more political and not futuristic. Now, here is the hiccup. How to proceed? They're not too sure that they've expelled Yeke. They're not too sure. They are having a second thought of the Supreme Court outcome. Tele, does the government have the money for by-election? So these are the three cardinal reasons they are holding on. If these Unity Party people knew that everything they did what is right and everything is on course, they would have notified the National Elections Commission long since of a vacancy in that place. When we tell you these people are not only misguided, but they are evil by nature, you wouldn't believe it. Interestingly, they embarrass themselves. They are the ones who are receiving all of the laches, not the people. They are the ones. And sorry to say, but you accept it. But that's how President Bouaga portrays himself, like a puppet. So these guys are using him. He sat them there and he made sure that this man was removed. That's what they say. Instead of you as president looking at the implications, what it will cost your government, whether your government is ready for a by-election or not, whether your government has the money or not, how the rest of the world will see it. That's how the leader thinks. The leader does not go because certain people come and say, Mr. President, the man is there, the man moving in, or the man causing you every day. Then you support it and say, I cannot, what had never happened before in this country will happen. I don't interfere with another branch of government. Puppet of a president. That's why the guys see him. So they just use him. Now see the embarrassment it has caused. Everywhere there is embarrassment for this government. Everywhere. President Bouhaka can tell us that he's having a restful night. Many days he's thinking. He's worrying. Sometimes he says and realize that he took a bad decision based on the influence of his people, his quote-unquote advisors. And the man who is advising him as a security person, Samuel Kofi Woods, a constitutional lawyer who was all over this place, identifying all of the ills in society, giving Bouhaka ill advice. Now, when you say the president is being used as a puppet, then they get vexed. A puppet is that person who avails himself for other people to move here and there. No independent thought. You say you expel the man. Then you can notify the National Elections Commission. Next waiting. Unity Party Chairman. Unity Party Election Commission Chairman. Janitor Wider. The man waiting. They can notify the National Elections Commission. Here you go. It's pathetic, man. Very pathetic. Very, very, very pathetic. Very, very pathetic. Very. You're not ready for by-election yet. What you going to inform the National Elections Commission? Who does the allocation? The very house. Where the money? Nego put it back to you and say, this is what we need for the elections. We need 3 million, or we need 500,000, or we need 900,000. Nego put it back. And when the money isn't there, but anyway, you have money. The budget is 1.2 billion budget. 1.2 billion. So it's not anything. 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. So the National Election Commission will get that money. You don't worry. All right. That will be doing it for that. This break. I say I need to get issue in the system. This is the final pointer. Then we're done for the day.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Working for your stomach. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who are, the people lots of us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. The people who are, the people lie to us, the government betray us. We tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. They think we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's the things to be. We just tell you. That's why we will tell you. But you screw us. You screw us. You use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people who are, the people lost us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have been broken. telling you. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the dollars? They say they go afford, but they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they fall. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government you lie. Why? But the question that we ask. The people who are, the people lost us. The government betray us. They betray us. So they lie. The people who are so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They get
That's what they are. Let's get to the next pointer. Well, God said in Matthew 7, if you think speck is in your brother's eye, you need him to take it out. You must firstly check yours. Meaning, demonstrate, examine yourself that you are immaculate, that you are sacrosanct. These are all words that refer to a person with no stain at all. You pure white, not a least stain on you. The audit reports been coming out of the GSC. The reports, the first batch of the audit reports focus on the administration of former President George Weah. Unity Party again spread all over. Like it was only the Unity Party, it was only the CDC government that managed this country before Bouakai. No president from Liberia's independence. George Weah became president all the way to 2023. So they put everything on him. A murderer will always portray himself or herself as an innocent person, doesn't do those things. A rogue will portray himself like he doesn't steal, but he does. And on for every evil act. That is why God said in Jeremiah 17:9, the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can discern it thereof except the Lord? The heart that devises evil will always present the next person as the bad person and portray himself as the one with no problem whatsoever. The audit reports coming out of the GSC painted a damaging picture of the very Unity Party government. The very Unity Party government under LRA, under Unity Party Double Jala. The report that came out, substantial amount of money according to the Auditor General, Gaswa Jackson. Unity Party people can't account for that money. Simply put, they know where the money gone. There is no trace of the money. Nobody can give account of it. Millions of dollars. But they will make you to believe that George Weah and CDC government took millions, misuse the country money all over. And you say there, you turning, you pace, and you just screaming and yelling all over instead of having a second thought to say, oh, but these people yell. You want to tell me the government is running too? So everything perfect? They made no mistake, everything correct? You will not ask yourself that question, you run. They too, their supporters get on Facebook because they know that most of you don't reason. They see you people as surrogates, and you people aren't surrogates. You people are human beings, not because we criticize them, but we can join you people with them. But that's how they think that you are. So when they come on the red one or two things, then you say, oh, CDC government, Joe Weah. Then when they say Joe Weah not coming back, then you join it too. Joe Weah not coming back. He will never be president yet again. So they cover up their stealing and make you to believe that George Weah and CDC were the ones that took the money, and they are not taking the money. These people, they are rogue, they are transparent, practical rogues, and they use power to blindfold you. They use the mind game. If you know what the mind game is, the person stealing on the other side, taking, well, then the man who took 1 cent, they're focusing on that man. The only man took the money, and the man went to the place, and he went on the other side. Why they saying it? Then you jump on that person too, they're talking about, then they're collecting their own, and nobody business. And you see the people, and you saw the number of callers that called yesterday and talked about Mo Ali. When Mo Ali was in opposition, I know Mo Ali. Mo Ali was one of the guys who was receiving money from CDC government. I told you that I don't want to be talking about this thing because I know all of those people. I know how his rent was being paid. He was not building at that time, but today he's building. Don't make me call the next person name. You don't push me to the wall to call their names, and they can't deny it because they know some of those conversations. I saw it where they received money in a corridor from a CDC person. And the reason why I don't want to call their name, because those Unity Party people will not like it, and they say, Sambo, how will you do that on the air? Then I will lose my credibility with them. So I hold on to that. But they can't deny it. Consciously, they can't deny it. And yeah, the guys, few of the guys I called yesterday, that the building were in opposition. What they're building, none of them had a house. None of them in opposition had house. Today, the building, where the money coming from? Where the money coming from? The money dropping from sky in their pocket, the very country money. They see you as stupid people. They see you as breach, as surrogates that they can use. They allow you. They turn you into choir to be screaming and shouting all over the place. Oh, CDC government, they're not coming back to power. Why the guys are getting rich and richer? Who are you? Who are you begging? Who are you crying to? And are your own people yesterday supporting you? Look what Thomas Fowler said over the weekend. He said, Unity Party people mean. He said they must bring down their glasses. He said they must reach out to the people. Why was he saying it? Because he knows they have the money. They have the money. Here is GSC report. GSC, listen carefully. According to the report, LRA officials made unauthorized withdrawals. Unauthorized, meaning you don't follow the law. You do it unilaterally. You took your own decision. Unauthorized withdrawals, totally about $59 million. Liberian dollars, 551 million from government transitory accounts during the audit period. I was just jumping and skimming to where the money is everywhere. Then Goswell Jackson, where he went again. Okay, let me complete this one. He said auditors also uncovered unswept balances in commercial bank accounts amounting to $898.63 million. Liberian dollars, 60.7 million. He said as of January 1, 2024, he didn't say January 1, 2018, when George Weah came. He didn't say January 1, 2019. He didn't say January 1, 2020. He did not say January 1, 2021. He did not say January 1, 2022. He said 2024. 2024, the Bwaka period. The man said the money, this amount of money, the government can't account for it. He went further to say by the end of December 2024, he said by the end of December 2024, balances of US 574.76, 5.61, and Liberian dollars 58.9 million still remain unresolved and unaccounted for. The man stopped there. He said, even more alarming, the order indicates that the government revenue totaling US $257.5 million and Liberian dollars 23.6 billion recorded in transitory accounts could not be traced to the government revenue account. You'll be sitting now, let the people use it, the people enjoying themselves, getting the money. They are turning you piece. Yeah, Joe, we have next the country. Oh, the law is the law. Samuel and now coming back. The man eating. So that will be doing it for that. Let's go. Where do we go next? Let's go. This is our next pointer.
Clear. The last time the Solicitor General came here and told you people that the defendants in this case are confessed to the crime.
If there's any difference, you always see it. But I think there's nothing different would be from what I told you before. What I told you before is the real statement. It's a statement of fact. Besides the crime, he himself stood where he stood just now and said but he was under the national security. He Arthur Johnson said that he made the first interview. The interview was made right in front of the court there. That yeah, the people took the money, they used the money, but they used it for national security. And it was never used for national security. We maintain that money was never used for national security. They took the money, they stole the money in LA. They stole the money in LA. So that's not a national security issue. We know national security. We've been working with the government for long. If the money is used for national security, there are rules governing the usage of money for national security. One person can go anywhere and take the money and say, you use it for national security. What is national security? The money they use in their homes, national security money? No, it's not national security. They never use it for national security. There was election season. Election Commission have budget for national security. They have budget for security, covering the entire security, the immigration, the police, all of those people assigned there. That budget is captured. How can you use the state cover and you have depleted the state cover? You say you use it for national security. It's not national security. Now, I don't have the issue of talking about the matter normally that before the court, because when the matter is in court, the court will decide. And the judge that will before, a no nonsense judge, if you discuss the merit of the case, he claim on you. What I will tell you people is that we have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more for all to commence producing the evidence. And we will tell you people, we have a 9 jurors today. We have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more. We have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more. We have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more. That we have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more for all to commence producing the evidence. And we will tell you people, we have a good side. Think either they did not read the Supreme Court opinion properly, or if they read the Supreme Court opinion, then they did not digest it properly. If they digested the Supreme Court opinion, then they will not be arguing what they did. I read the Supreme Court opinion, I understood it well. And I think there is nothing you can add to it, nothing you can subtract to it. That is the highest court of the land. He has spoken. He sent order, will produce the evidence that is required to convict them.
Let me make something very quick and clear. The last time the Solicitor General came here and told you people that the defendants in this case are confessed to the crime. That is a lie. It's not true. No one confessed to a crime. There is a difference between confession to criminality, and making a point. Confession to the crime means the man is admitting to the crimes in the indictment that he committed the offense. That is not the case. What happened in this case is that there is a statutory function, or there were statutory functions that were carried out by the former Minister of Finance. That is under Section 14.2 of the Public Finance Law. The law says that the Minister of Finance has the authority, statutory authority, to authorize payments
that have been recommended by any of the branches of government within the budget or authorized within the budgetary laws of Liberia. And that is exactly what the Minister of Finance have done. And that payment was made to the appropriate administrative agency that was authorized at the level of the National Security Council by the President of Liberia at the time, His Excellency George Manneh Weah. And so on the basis of this, no one should criminalize when they just Solicitor General comes out and say that was confession. That's not confession. Confession is all of the allegations that have been made. Yes, we agree, we the one committed. No, there was no crime here. There was a statutory function that was carried out and it had been criminalized. So we want to make that clear. If the Solicitor General agrees with what he said the last time, that the defendants are confessed to the crime, then why are we selecting jurors? So that is to tell you that what the Justice Minister was intending to do at the time, we call it trial by TV and trial by Facebook. The perception is to get the perception of the sentiments of potential jurors who will be coming to come with the cloud of the mind to say that if you the two are confessed to the crime. There is no confession to crime. If there was confession to crime, we will not select jurors. Today, there will be a date of sentencing. So that's not true. There was no criminality, and we still want to reiterate that the action of these defendants was a national action. The actions of the defendants were national security actions and responsibilities that were carried out. Those actions that were carried out were statutory functions that were responsible to keep the stability of this country during the period of the elections. The peace we enjoy today was based on the statutory expression of the mandate of the finance minister being authorized by the National Security Council, which exists within the office of the president. That's the character we wanted to make.
Before we get to that, they say cat eat his own baby, and that's the expression they have. Well, George Kalondo is on the verge of leaving Unity Party. When we tell you that Unity Party, except that you people have not known Unity Party for very long, when you're living in a place, study institutions, study people, look at their track record. Unity Party does not have any record of treating people right. They use people as surrogates, they accomplish their aims, they dat you. George Kalondo felt that he had entered into heaven and everything was going to be rosy with him. They now turn against him. He's on the verge of leaving. He's contemplating that, taking several things into consideration. Hear what he said before we get to what you listen to. I really wanted to work in the government, in reference to the UP government, but they refused to offer me a job. They refused to give me contracts. They even refused to make me just a board member. That's the politics in Unity Party. They use him. They accomplish their aim and say, oh, come on, you're non-entity, insignificant. It's good that you have your businesses, you can go and run them. We don't need you in our government. And they think they're going to have easy ride 2029. I hope these things can continue all the way. Let them flush many people out as they can. Then Musa Bility, the CMC, the head of CMC is concerned. So he wrote a formal communication to the regime speaker, Unity Party speaker. He said, request to invite the managing director of Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation to appear before plenary. I present my compliments and respectfully request the indulgence of this honorable plenary to invite the managing director of Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, Mr. Muhammad Ali, to appear before this august body to provide clarification and a comprehensive report regarding a recent public statement published on his official Facebook page concerning access to safe drinking water within the Republic of Liberia. In his publication, the managing director asserted that approximately 60% or 70% of the population of Liberia currently has assets to save drinking water. Using Liberia's estimated population of approximately 5.5 million people, this representation suggests that nearly 4,100, that's yes, 180,000 Liberians now have access to safe drinking water services across the country. And then just the conclusion. He said, in view of the foregoing, I respectfully request that plenary invite the Managing Director of Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation to appear before the Honorable House and provide a detailed report, including, but not limited to, the following. 1, the methodology and data sources used in arriving at the reported 76% national coverage figure. 2, a county-by-county and district-level breakdown of communities and populations with access to safe drinking water. 3, these specific locations and installations currently providing safe drinking water services. 4, the definition and standards used by the corporation in determining what qualities are safe drinking water assets. 5, finally, current challenges, limitations, and future expansion plans to nationwide water accessibility. Respectfully submitted, Honorable Musa Hassan Bility, Representative, District Number 7, Nima County, 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Good. And the Supreme Court, 3 p.m. tomorrow, 3:30 p.m., 3:30 p.m. to talk all things Yeke Koluban, House of Representative expulsion. Okay. So, well, my guy, I like this guy, man. You're sorry that the last thing we're about to talk, then we go. But I like this guy. The message, man. Yeah, please, I beg you. Let's just go. Just one more.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Working for your stomach. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people lots of us. The government betray us. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. We tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that left us to allow us damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. They think we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow that there are things to be? We just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you screw us. You screw us. You use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. People who are people last us. The government betray us. So the people who are so, the people last to us. The government betray us. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have been broken. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the God that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, they stay, they delay. People suffer. No war for people crying for hunger. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government you lie. Why? But the question that we ask. The people who are, the people last us. The government betray us. So, they lie. The people who are so, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They get lie, they get steal, they go we tired with the promises that left us to allow damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. They think we saw it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you lie? There are things that we just tell you. That why we will tell you. Thank God. But you fool us. You screw us. You use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people who are, the people last us. The government trick us. So they lie. The people who are, the people last us.
If you have not believed, you're not yet convinced of what we've told you, well, then that's it. But we maintain, and this is the vow. We didn't need any rocket scientists, did not need Daniel or any prophets to explain the signs they intend. It is clear. We've told you repeatedly that if Unity Party cannot get a CDC supporter in jail, they have no case. They can never speak of the fight against corruption. It will be used against them. That they must get at all costs somebody. And their attention shifted to Samuel 12. There will be no retrial. There will be no retrial. In this case of what they call juror tampering or jury tampering, whichever, there will be no retrial. What we have before us is integrity issue. They should not think that they are clever and the rest of the people are stupid. They can even take Nebuchadnezzar, if he's still alive, to sit on whatever the Bema seat called the judge seat. For a retrial, it would never happen. Common Sense, page 1. If you don't know it. Presents before us integrity issue. Those who claim to have been tampered with according to them, not only have they placed or exposed, if there is any of such, the vulnerability of the judicial system, but they connive, they accomplish. Hence, for bringing the judiciary into disrepute. If you ask me for a penalty, they should go to jail between 20 to 30 years. Nobody tamper with anybody. That is a blatant lie. Unity Party does not know how to go. They still want to get Samuel Tuwe into jail. I told you, listen, even if you take gun, you get to Unity Party people, they look at Samuel Tuwe. They will look at Samuel Tuwe and shooting. You get Unity Party people gone, and George Weah around, the people will take gun and shoot George Weah. Even if you hand Bwaka a gun, Bwaka ready to shoot George Weah. As far as they're concerned, these people should not live. These people should not live in Liberia. This place is theirs. Everything you see them doing, it's what we've told you people. I don't know how you want us to say this thing. That our area, yeah, they want our area. We are scientific in it. We are trained to discuss, to analyze the political variables, to form an informed opinion, and dash it at you because you are the judge. That our area is the one we're not second guessing. We need anybody to teach us. We've been in it for years. We play with the analysis. Look at it. If Angel Gabriel came down to earth, he will tell you what Kings FM have always said is the truth. They want to get this man in jail at all costs so that they will have a point to prove in their position or fighting corruption here and there. Listen to this man. Listen to this man. Well, please, listen to this man. Listen to this man. Listen to the man's admittance. Government man.
And the judge that will be for a no nonsense judge. If you discuss the merit of the case, he claim on you. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today.
Yeah, listen. He said we have, meaning the government, the government people. Israel dealt with it sufficiently, exhaustively this morning. But given the precarious nature and the vindictive act, so we always talk about it. We always talk about it. And he said we, the government lawyers, they the one brought all the people from everywhere. Listen, an impaneled juror, the people, they are not left to go to their houses to be doing anything. They're in a secluded confinement. Everything is taken from them. They only rely on their mentor and the notepad if they will have any, because you can rely on your mentor 100%. If you spoke to me 35 minutes, I will not recall everything. I will only try to recall some, because everything can go in the head. But I can write as many things as you will say in 30 minutes. They are heavily guided and protected. They are well fed. Nobody goes to them. There is no contact from in. There is no contact from outside. They are heavily protected. Jury tampering is not about Samuel Tuwe. It's no longer about Samuel Tuwe. No, the discussion now shifts to the vulnerability of the judiciary. If you know how an impaneled juror or how the grand juror is positioned, nobody will be talking about jury tampering. But because President Joseph Boakai wants to see Samuel Tuwe going to jail at all costs, so the various judges, they now stoop so low, working at the whims and caprice of the president. The issue here is not about jury tampering. I mean, it's not about Samuel Tuwe or retrial. The exposure or the claim that they were tampered with It means the very government temper with them because the government does it. It is not the opposition. It's not the defense lawyer, and other people forget about defense lawyer. But the way those guys, I've been researching that today. The American people and other areas, they've been giving me everything. So I say, oh, so the harder thing is done. Some of you, the mayor, to believe that Samuel Twe lawyers, they had access to the people. No. It's just like you want people to do a given thing, and then you put them in this room. The room is sealed up. You know how the Catholic people can elect the Pope? What they call the conclave. They go into the catacomb. The catacomb is an underground tunnel beneath the earth. No cell phone, nothing whatsoever. Everything that you need to eat is there. Electricity, there 100%. You have your notepad and your pen only to record. Whatever, which kind of food you want to eat there. You're not accessing anybody, nobody accessing you. You're in that room until you people can arrive at a name. You people can reach a unanimous verdict. Nobody going in, nobody coming out. Nobody accessing you from both in and out. Everybody around there, they are excommunicated on the outer floor, meaning they are outside completely because it involves concentration. It involves listening to the presentations and getting back and analyzing the variables, everything. So it is not easy to tamper with any juror. But the time they are true, and when the judge reaches the point, this hearing is hereby adjourned to Friday, May XYZ, on a heavy escort in the bus back in their catacomb. Nobody saying a word to them. Nobody speaking to them. Nobody saying anything whatsoever. Why that heavy restriction and security? To avoid these kinds of stuff. So when there is tampering, it means that the government try to find way for a retrial because from the onset, they disagree. You listen to the press conference, you listen to the outcome of the Solicitor General. What he said, rather, he countenance changed. He looked depressed, frustrated, guilt, shame. He didn't want to say much to the media. move to a full-scale investigation with substance. So you do a validation. You do a preliminary investigation. 1 or 2 persons of a juror status can come and say, we're tempered with. Then you say, yeah, we're investigating. You can't, the fire, we investigate. You become political ready as a judge. You're no longer legal, but you're acting in a political sentiment. That's what you're doing. A sound judge would not immediately call for investigation, would do a preliminary investigation, would do a validation, try to find out, is it true? How did they tamper with you people? Who, by your reasoning, consciously, all of you are above 18, tamper with you people? How did they tamper with you people? The reason why the judge would be more philosophical and not political, because he is the superintendent right there of the judiciary integrity. He has the honors to protect the judiciary. So he goes about asking philosophical questions, meaning those hardcore questions, to find out whether these people is just a make-up or somebody must have planted them or influenced them because they're not satisfied with the jury verdict. From there, when he realizes there is a probable cause for a full-scale investigation, that's when he will announce and he will state some of those things that he was told. But the judge took on a political posture that investigation is open. Samuel 12 lawyers, state lawyers, the jurors, and others should come for investigation. Look at Liberia judicial system. No reason why, sorry to say, no disrespect to not all of the lawyers, but some of the lawyers and judges can stoop so low politically. You would do that. So now, here is it. Put this in a reversal. That you went for investigation. And there is a retrial. And there is a guilty verdict against Samuel 12. And then 3 of the jurors come out to say they were tampered with to bring down a guilty verdict against 12. With the judge, with Judge Usman Fekar, open investigation into it again, because that's what's going to happen. Even though his Samuel 12 lawyer will not give into that, they will not kowtow into their parole. But that could be another side of it. Because what President Bouaka wants at all costs is Samuel 12 to go to jail, so that they will have a justifiable. They will have a justified position. That they will have a justified position. I told you people, and I maintain and know it, Unity Party has not won a single corruption case. Bouaka has faltered everywhere along the way. All of the opposition he brought claim against, he didn't win them. He had thought it was going to be a smooth ride for them. So he made a vow. We in there with him, but when we say he made, with the signs are clear. The president speaks to his people. He spoke to the justice minister. The justice minister was compelled to call a news conference. The justice minister, from his news conference, you could tell he showed the signs of a possible retrial. Unity Party people, all of them, the question, the acquittal. So because Samuel 12 was not found guilty, there is problem with the law. There's problem with the court. There's problem with interpretation. If Samuel 12 had been found guilty, then the usual cliche will have come into effect again. The law is the law. The law is the law. Because from the very first day, they had wanted Samuel Tuah to go to jail. I said, United Party people, you already know these people. Go and get in these people's hand. Those people can look at Samuel Tuah and shoot him. That's why George Weah has to be careful with his life. United Party people can kill George Weah at any time. These people think the country is for them. They think it is their inheritance. They think nobody should stay here besides them. That what they want, what they decide must be, and nobody should question it. Israel told you this morning. All of you people know. Let Edwin Snow there. What did Edwin Snow say? Edwin Snow said, when you told they come after you. Yeke told they move Yeke. Their own man, they sent him to jail for 6 months. There is no freedom of sleep. People are afraid all over the place. Between 7, 8, 9. Everybody clear the street. People are afraid. Everywhere. They have heightened tension in the country so much so that people are afraid. But nobody will tell investors not to come to the country. The investor will see for themselves. I say it this way because that's what they were doing yesterday. They were telling investors not to come to this country. They were telling investors that George Weah government this. George Weah government there were not respecting the rule of law. George Weah government, George Weah police was creating tension. There was no freedom of expression, no this, no that. Yeah, they are. They're in power. It's even worse than they claim the brawl against the CDC government. So, as we conclude, there will be no retrial. The judge can do all he can. He can put out the political posture to call an investigation. There will be no retrial. Nobody should get intimidated. Nobody should get scared. There will be no retrial in this thing. An acquittal is an acquittal. Should they offer a retrial, there will be setting a precedence and United Party will not stay in power forever, ever. They will move, and every United Party government official claim will be brought against them and will line them up in jail for 50 years, 100 years. Most of them will die in jail. Take it for a joke. I'm preaching to you the 1990 atmosphere that everybody was excited to pay back. Everybody. That's why people were pointing to people's houses. They say that man that put our power in jail for all that time. Yeah, man there. Yeah, the man horse there. You just go there and you see that green horse. The people say, okay, go, begin, go. Less than no time, the house on fire. Bullet spraying, everybody inside. The leader. They look at the other man and say, you. And you say you're going to stay in power for 200 years? And you? He said, no, I'm here. He said, you. You sure that not you? And you the party chairman? And you the Luther Tapper? And you the pastor? Hey, come on. So, you know how one can make a man and vet. When they identify you, they know the show of your identity. They're giving you the benefit of the doubt. Then you want to ask smart. But we saw plenty in the war. Yeah, here go. Man, let us not go back to those days, man. Yeah, the thing we saw in the war. Yeah. I see what God says, Sam Andrew, you're not leaving from here. You will stay in this country. All your friends will go. All your friends will run away. I will protect them, and I will protect you. You will stay where you will see. And see plenty of things. I will open your eyes so you'll be able to guide this country. Yaka. The thing you're doing, your prayer, and Luther Tapper said you should be there for 200 years. And listen, let me tell you, that thing we can be talking, nobody wants war. Nobody prays for war. If you have not experienced the war, well, I did, because God allowed me to stay here from the very first day to the end of it. I cannot tell you that war is good. War isn't good at all. But it does not say those things that brought the war, that left hundreds of people, thousands of people to go under this ground, and thousands of houses destroyed, that today people, families, husband, wives, daughters, sons, aunts, nephews, uncles, still living with the psychological scar. We are repeating them. A country can go to war, experience peace, and go back. Liberia is not the first country to experience war. And they talk about peace and they talk about not going back to war. But those things that led them to war first, they did and they went back. Don't live. Let us not try to be sentimental. Come on. This country went through war. It can go through another war. You think God's stupid? The other countries that went through war and God allowed them to go through war again, you think God did not know what he was doing? I'm not saying that God can sanction war. But when you sit down, you allow those things that led you into war and you stay doing it after you having peace. God in heaven does not go to prevent anything. He allows it to happen because of your own stupor, insensitivity. You do things to people that keep grudge. Everyone, everywhere. Right now, people keeping grudge, not on governmental level, on family level, on friendship level, on business level, everywhere. People, somewhere, somehow, keeping grudge for people. Because they feel hurt. And they are only waiting for the opportune time to pay their debt. Nationally, we are doing the same thing. It's not about retrial. There's going to be no retrial. What the government has always wanted, what President Bouaka had always wanted, President Bouaka wants to see Samuel Tuah in jail. Then they will have a justified argument. The government will have a justified argument. How must we say this thing, people? Must God send Angel Gabriel down to explain the thing here? You ain't seeing the signs are not clear. Why did the government not concede? Why did the government not concede? Because the government felt that we should not give in to CDC. Let us, we have the power. We have everything. Let us do everything we can. We will not admit anything of a good leadership to concede defeat in this political stuff that they have given us a political bloody nose and they have buried us legally. We resurrect and we'll challenge them and we'll make sure that they be buried legally and politically. So the influence. But listen, those people are going to make themselves shame. And they call for investigation. The day they're going to make a session. So what are you going to say? Because that the government, that government can assemble the people. You're listening to fire. Yeah, government lawyer. Yeah, man.
Our juror today, we need only 6 more case he claim on you. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more the case he claim on you. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more. What I will tell you people is that we have selected now juror today, we need only 6 more.
They assemble. They went through, they did the impanel. They impaneling. Everything. That's not the opposition, that's not the defense. And if you know how a jury, how a panel jury is protected, except they tell us that there is vulnerability. Again, before I came on the air, that's what I was doing, asking about the impaneling of a juror in a criminal sabotage case, asking the American certain, the British, just asking from everywhere. That is the essence of the repository of knowledge called the internet or Google. And there's no different. What I've gathered, you can't just tamper with those people. Even what they provided. When people were in you look it up, you have smartphone, you just ask for it, they will tell you, they will show you everything. So if they say that people tamper, if those three came out, that people tamper with them, then it shows the vulnerability, which they will have to prove. It means that they've brought the judiciary, the credibility, and the reputation of the judiciary into disrepute. It means also that the judiciary is vulnerable. Anybody can penetrate it. It means the gullibility of it, and that reflects on the entire system. And it calls for full-scale investigation and overhauling. And it cannot in any way affect the outcome of the decision. Not child's play, they're not children thing we're doing here. They're not children thing. The country we're running here. They're not club. They're not community club. No. Let us not reduce our country to a mere political, to a mere social gathering. Certainly not. That because somebody is not satisfied and say, at all costs, Samuel Tuer must go to jail. That one man, when Samuel Tuer died today, then all of y'all will feel happy. Because you don't care people from the next one, and maybe y'all go to George Weah and say, let's find a way to kill George Weah. So only y'all should exist in this country. No reason why you have a history of killing, a history of undermining, a history of just everything satanic and diabolic. Then look what let me show you this one, then we open the line. The rest of the time will be for you people. Their supporters, which is very bad. They immediately took to Facebook and started to expose those people, saying that they were the ones that allowed themselves to be tampered with. One of them is the head of President Joseph Yeman Boakai, Rural and Renewable Energy Agency, Samuel Nangbe. Samuel Nangbe, let me show you first. This is the head of the Rural and Renewable Energy, Samuel Nangbe, a diehard supporter of Unity Party. This man had the audacity to put on his page, if he has not taken it down, one of the ladies whom he claimed allowed herself or she was tampered with. Yes. You see him? Yeah, the lady. Yeah, lady. Inflicting psychological wounds, inflicting psychological damage on the lady, putting the lady in harm's way. If you went on Samuel Nangwe's page, you'll see it. He said the name organizer in a potential jury tampering case. And he is the head, the government official, the Unity Party official. He is the head of Rural and Renewable Energy Agency. Came out to put the woman picture, and the other people are doing it, putting it in harm's way. Now, if anything happened to this lady, what do you think? Who's responsible? People could even go to this woman's house. They could even threaten the family and say, oh, and are you free Samuel Tuer? And who knows? Why Unity Party, when we tell you the people are so wicked, you know what it means? This man come and put this lady on his page. He's exposing the lady. He putting the lady in harm's way. He putting the lady family in harm's way. saying that they rendered a non-guilty verdict for Samuel Twe. So if they had rendered a guilty verdict, nobody would have been talking, making noise today. Nobody would have put a picture of. Can you imagine? The man is the head for Liberia and Renewable Energy Agency. So he's more Unity Party than even Bouaga himself. That's how they can stoop so low, too petty. But he's doing it to himself too. So that will be doing it for that. Let's read a few comments and then we get to the lines. Joseph Namwe said, if this useless Bouaga government try any foolish thing to send Samuel Twe to jail, no Unity Party government officials will move freely. Those days are coming back very soon if Bouaga doesn't stop the way in which he's running the country. Sylvester said D12 will be free no matter what they try to do to him. But the man is a free man, and the man is now on trial again. He is a free man. Roof. Okay, we'll talk after the show. Joseph. Emmanuel Bro writes, the verdict reached by the jury in the economic sabotage case against Samuel Twe and the others is irreversible. Whatever some of the jurors are saying now in journalism is known as commentary after the news. Right. On the Ebola issue, Emmanuel Broad said, the GOL under the presidency of Joseph Joman Bouaga is simply boasting that it is in full preparedness for any threat of Ebola. But quite obviously, the nation's health facilities are far below standards to combat the virus just in case it reaches the country. Very true. I saw some kind of report. I don't know whether it is true or not, whether it is was just a political gimmick, that JFK doctors not satisfied the attempted strike, something like that. So let's go now to you. The rest of the time is yours. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9807 0777 980375. You want to go straight to the point so that I can take as many of you as I can. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Sam.
Hello.
Good afternoon to those who follow us. This is Hussein. My name is Hussein Keo. So, Sam, I listened to the presentation, different talking points. But I want to begin by saying the government have put into the Ministry of Health, put in every mechanism that whenever outbreak occurs in a country, the government or the Ministry of Health is prepared. And we are also on our knees. Why we have to be practical, praying that we will not encounter such a virus in our country anymore.
They won't got nothing to do with the prayer. What the health authorities put in place? What's the mechanism?
So I listened to the Director General of MPhil.
What is the mechanism that you say I listen to? You said.
But Sam, you are a journalist. I think you should be making call to the different agencies responsible for such. Like JFK,
my man, go sit down, man. I said the people doing nothing practically. They want to give him their announcement psychologically.
So let me make my point quickly. So
you inform more than us.
Can I go ahead, please?
I said you inform more than us. I said the people doing nothing, and you say you are journalist. You should call the people.
So in relation to Samuel Twe and that of the Ministry of Justice, Sam, we have a little understanding of the legal processes in our country. When jury are set up, it's based on the individual involved. Like, say for example, to being a finance man who want to send.
My man, just go straight to the point, my man. The lines are ringing. I want to bring other people on.
No, but Sam, when I call, I want it to be educated.
Hello.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be anonymous because I just want to have money for people useless for me. So I will not call my name, but thank you for the topic on the discussion. And I was privileged myself at drawing a code. And all they are saying, the people are very innocent, lazy, and they are weak hunters. And this country will not divert to uselessness. And I extend the people may, we're going to apply Newton's law of every equal and opposite reaction. You cannot go as draw the same overwhelming evidence. Looking up in that way, the rest of the other coast that way draw. So it's difficult going to complete that overwhelming. It got nothing to overcome.
A very infinitesimal 3. Okay, Chief, thank you. Let's get to the women's line. Hello. Yeah, fine.
Very important now. But we all were yet for the one important people in the town. That is people and forget about talent. But I was very important. If what I get job and I said to President Waka, we are getting people who please let that one way is right yet. Stop the too much traveling. No one any problem yet. This said that one place and start traveling. We don't want for you to bring people out yet. Okay, so the time I got issue. There's an annual. They want to hit it. I just got it. That's the devil in there. What they see, they can only do. I want everything. Yes, that means nothing. Then see. Now for one case, the Lord point out for your money. That's it. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, pigeons. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Nathaniel King, and I call you from our team, our Highway. And let me say hi to my incoming President George Manawia. Let me come in quickly with the pandemic issue. We're hearing that Ebola is around in like Tiawa Coco. So let me say government is competing in the first place. We in opposition, I think in other countries would go and for remedy to situation we come in our only loss, the love country Liberia. It's all that we have. So I only urging oppositions, we like opposition to be kind, and then for the work together until the government goes. We know that 2029 definitely is our turn. We gotta work together because Liberia is the only country that we have. We don't have any country besides Liberia. Thank you for the show, Sam.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Mr. Andrews, this is David King. I join you, my resident. You know, when the market ball came about, Dubanya were made to lie that market ball have turned to a serious epidemic in our country. And Dubanya said had not reached a point for us to do that. So Dubanya was removed. Today we hear about Congo, like Ebola has been here. Even when George, we have a president, we are had Ebola. But we did not take it the way this government is taking it. People just want to find something so that they can make money to steal. We just need to put measures into place, like what you said. Our border point, the airport, the port of entry, all of these places that should be Mackenzie set aside to put in place so we can prevent for coming to spread in. But the government, they will do everything just to save money. Now, quickly, the issue of Mr. Tuer. Mr. Tuer the Jew has said they fall in no wrongdoing. So an acquittal case cannot be retrial. So how the people are reading the law, whether they're reading it straight or they're reading up, I think they need to stop. Because these are things that bring about, conflict in the country. The reason why, former president, we are always protecting the peace because he one person who contributed in bringing peace to Liberia. So why he have to make, he don't want to be to destroy it. This is why he always that peaceful rule. Mr. Twe, not the one Mr. Twe. You cannot go to Jupiter and go look at something that manufactured on him.
Okay.
You do that, and you want to, disturb the peace of this country. Thank you.
Hello. You went off, Chief. You went off from that end. Let's try the women's line. Hello.
Hello, Sam Andrew.
Yeah.
This is my calling from St. Paul's Fish. Are the children there?
Yeah. Fine. Let's hear you.
Sam Andrew, let me tell you, my child. They Iburati were coming on. One thing I know about it, government, when things going wrong, when you see it, they can say nothing happened, nothing happened. Today, you hear about there, they say things are fine. Yeah, they claim me. Yeah, Ebola. For them to talk things and face things so we can be together and do things in common. They're trying to do some kind of thing. It is alright. It will not something, it will not do this and that. It's not necessary. They will not do us like this. They say they knew everything. They were coming to do everything. So you didn't do everything. We expected to do every other thing that they said they were going to do. They were not just talking anymore. And this Samuel 12 quote, they think when he win, I see them. I say it's down in their heart, pointing it and cutting their heart. And they will feed it. And nothing they will not do to prefer win our kids. Nothing, let me tell them. They will stay long inside. They will stay long inside. That's what I get to say. I tell you, thank you, Papa.
All right. Have a nice day. Hello. Men's line, you went off. Hello?
Afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Ed Maka, and I'm the visually impaired that is pushing for the return of President Weah, a proud member of Concerned Liberian for Justice. When I hear that Ebola thing, my skin can be creeping because at that time we were here. We know what we went through. We know the kind of tension we were on. You were walking when you are among people. You were having the mindset that anything could have happened to you anytime. So the thing about our people is that you claim that you have all the expertise. So in a kind of situation, we don't want to hear you telling us, say, anything happen, we are prepared, we are there. No. Let's start putting some measure into place. Tell us what have you put into place, at the border, at the airport, making sure that it don't enter because that one person brought COVID-19 in this country and higher uprising. I can remember it was the Environmental Protection Service agency director that brought COVID-19 here. Well, I news broker. So it's nothing for people to be saying we are in charge. No, this thing have been put in place. No. Tell us what can we start doing now as a people. Because the government, they were looking at it. We pray that nothing that will not even happen. But all of the reports are coming from Congo. That what they know of, in the kind of situation, people are doing their own burial on the side that the government don't know anything about it. So what the government have information of, what they are having information of, that what they are reporting, the one that are happening on the side, on the so you must know that the case in Congo Brazzaville is very, very huge, and we need to be careful for United Nations to come out to have, to have emergency meeting on it. It's a serious issue that we need to look at. No, do I think, like I said, we thank God that the guys are validating our argument, and we told them that it was political, it was not legal. but nothing going to be reversed because for you to be there, everything went on. You agreed to it, all 16. They let you go. You go home, you sit out there, somebody can tell you, say, go and tell the people, say, oh, people temper will off. Then you can't say, you know what you're doing with your character, you know what you're doing to the justice system. So if they come to be live, we hope that they will be punished, even so that other people, it will serve as a deterrent for other people to play with more character. People are already questioning the decision of settle in our country. Then you want to hang more dark cloud over it? That is not called for. So we are watching and let's see what comes up. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Carr. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Sir Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, c'est Rabba calling from Justin Day. I'm saying Labyrinth for Justice. Sir Andrew, what I want to say on the radio today is Joseph Boakala won't come on the country. Then he moved from that peaceful. He won't know in the country. Joseph Boakala, I don't want to get Labyrinth for all Liberians. If he don't want to come on the country, then he moved from that east of Becky. If he failed, because he failed, Labyrinth won't know that he failed, then he leaves east. The people just they get a some of them from guilty, then you call them back. They say they take for the jewelry, they take for around the jewelry. They full place to the jewelry and who begging. If one knows Joseph Boakala Kisi and they locate all five Joseph Boakala, President Joe, yeah, in go. President Joe, yeah, he was there. In go. President Joe, see, and he was there. In go. Anytime, any go. You all advise Joe Boakala. If you don't want trouble, then you please leave the country. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. My name is Viva Sending against afternoon and coming from Citizen Party. Well, Mr. Andrew, I listened to the SG. And then they selected the UGS. I mean, there was no law to they never told them, say, oh, this is great. When something happens, you call the court before time. They all sat there from almost 5 to 6 months. Their case was going on. Why they didn't complain? But you see, I started this morning, if the country was serious-minded, the government was serious-minded group of serious-minded people. I think you guys need to charge themselves in my mind because they not mean well for the country. But God guys is your way of charging people. The three guys, what you guys are looking for, your family will go with punish your entire family because what you're doing is not good for the country. You guys are dragging the country back into the mud because of your better. They're not good. We fought 15 years ago. Some of us lost our parents there because you people said these things were happening those days. And even during the daytime, some of the things are happening now. They don't happen those days. But because of one group of people, I mean, thank you, man, Sam. Thank you, bro.
All right. Have a nice day. If this was in the United States or other advanced country, there's not going to be a retrial. You know what happened? Those 3 jurors will immediately be brought in, handcuffed, and sentenced. They overlooking it. They think that it's something minor. They know they have placed themselves. The only reason because Unity Party, they're having a field day right now as 3 jurors because Unity Party using them as bits, as surrogates, because they won't get Samuel Tuah in jail or cause. If this was in another country, those people risk going to jail for between 15 to 20, 30 years. You people know. Let me speak to you 3. You know what you people have brought on this country, this government? You see the government as stupid government because the government is stupid. Yes, that one, you're right. But sound country. You people, you damage your future. You go to jail for between 20 to 30 years in jail. You know what you people have done? You even validated everybody's argument that the judiciary under Joseph Yema Boakala is a Mickey Moore, a fun fair judiciary, because they themselves reduce it to nothingness. Nobody tamper with any juror. Nobody. They only want to find some kind of way to get a man in jail, of course, and they know how to do it. Hello.
Yeah, how you do, sir?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, my name is Common Man. I'm coming from Ominga Ofi community. So first of all, I want to thank you for the topic on discussion. The country we in, we don't know what we put ourselves in. So we got to suffer for it. God got punishment for everything that you do. The punishment we go into. And to go to the topic is that the difference between George Weah and Joseph Boakala is because George Weah, he's a man that was born with everything. I don't care how you fighting, you can't correspond to yourself. But Samuel 12 case, we are not worrying about Samuel 12 because you can't go bring your people, your own people, and say, oh, the Mongol, Pato the man, then they fail on the man. Then you tell these people to call the man back. Even if they call the man back, the man go do anything. Anything they do in our house, we already know that Samuel is not guilty. So we're waiting to see what we can see for the Liberian people to see for themselves. We're watching with our equal eyes. Everybody looking.
All right, Chief. Thank you. To the women's line. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, you're talking about Samuel 12 and your man, we are not even when they see ground before they will shoot them. But now, sir, we are born citizen from 2005. But the way the people carrying the country here, I was said too, we just looking at them, but the only thing I got to say, the thing where they planning for, of course, start with war. But then try it and say against Samuel 12 either, yeah, more going to job, man, where they will see they said that. Thank you for the show.
All right, madam. Hello.
Hello, Gispano.
Yeah, Gispano, what's up? Let's hear you.
Thank you. So I want to ask a little question to Waka against Sunday. So if they want to go to court because they get them bloody nose, right? So they came back and said, oh, Jue was temporary. So I'm asking the government now, if they're going to win the case, we're going to jail. They were going to come and say, oh, we grab the poll, they're going to agree with it. My question to them.
Well, sir, if it had gone against Samuel 12 and three jurors come and say we were temporary, the government going to be the first to lie that nobody was temporary, nobody can be temporary. They will explain everything.
Everything. They will defend.
Yeah.
So they fall here to quote and say la la. They were not temporary because all the armor of the government. There's no cell phone, nothing at them. In that place for almost 4 months they were there. What a cell phone pass now, pass on our ground. The on ground cell phone that get penetrated and tested or what in their blood to go in their ear. And we said, there was so much guys. If you're not considered serious country at all, if you're considered serious country, then they put it in for 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
Because the plea have the plea go to get. Just say the plea with it. And they're rubbing it in the mouth of people out there. They are laughing at us. Because you get 3 months on our ground and came out and said, after you plead the case, say not guilty and found guilty, this and that, and the poor will come and say, oh, what? So what is my brother a lot of time? They say they want for party, they want for live. There was no money, but I was poor. What were the poor part? And what do they poor? What the say? So the question was serious, what I'm saying, that they put equal, and then they're going to jail for 50 years. Then it was self-fulfilling on there, but they will not do it. So not when I go to jail for the rest of the people who are going to jail. Like all they play, all they in one and they throw all the water and not get to it. 2 hours celebrated from so they're angry. Now they want to bring came and say, oh, why they put to come out okay, let's do the year. So they go for a center. And the people case all over is there for a rabble, it's there. They're going nowhere at there.
Is there a what? Gispano say what? You say a what? Gispano know all the political channels. On arrival. They are just holding all the political walls there.
No, it was political cricket anywhere.
I know. You see the other one you not bring? He
was flocking, dragging the mama to say, Waka, but come again, when I come after who are proud and things like that. So that's how, no, that go for a place. That was a statement for them. Will I get time for those things? Thank you.
All right, Gispano. Have a nice day. Okay. Hello. You are on the men's line.
Yeah, good afternoon, Semanju.
Good afternoon.
They are saying this is the voice of Sabu Rasta, a proud son of the concerned librarian for justice. Sam, I'm joining you from Point 4 specifically upon Zimbabwe. Look, Sam, I want you to go back to the recording that you were playing. The Solicitor General said, Augustine Finance said, out of 15 drawers, he said the government selected 9 and remaining 6. So why now Samuel with the drawing? Where are you coming from, Sam? And you out of 15 drawers, they said the government of the Republic of Labrador selected 9, remaining 6. And then after the case, they say, oh yeah, the drawer was temporary. So how can the drawer was temporary? Because some of them were not done when I was selecting the drawer. Am I lying, Sam, and you? He was not there, so then how come now you say they make temporary with the drawer? That's why I want to know, Sabu Rasta. Sam, I'm listening to the country following now, Sam.
All right, Sabu Rasta.
Yeah, so Sam, Clarence said to us that we the Zimbabwe people, this government came to wish on our people. Because Sam, they are priority right now, Sam, as there is no current. No water. So you know what I wanted to do now? I just wanted to just grab Cemetery, grab Tibo, grab Francisco, and just get everybody in Boga problem solved.
All right, Sabu Rasta.
But that's what I want to do. So let us please work and let us please the desire because that's what you want to do. So let us grab Cemetery.
No.
We just install the director of police, say, oh, grab Cemetery. And then we grab the remaining pregnant and just send it to jail.
No. You can please anybody that way. You can.
Because,
you can even please.
Before I jump in line, you know what I'm doing to us now? If we do see our judicial system, when it comes to the law, because they follow the law, we got 3 branches of government. They fought that to establish our law. So why would I say that the court would make a decision and then somebody will come
all right,
and say,
Sabu Rasta. All right,
decision.
I'm already out of time. Thank you. Let's go with the last one, then we out.
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear you quick.
How you doing?
I'm good, as you are, if you are good.
Yeah, by the help of God, I'm good. You know, I remind myself of the day of MND Vanzamiton. Hello?
Chief, we are listening to you.
Yeah, I remind myself of MND Vanzamiton Day. That was the day today. 2 people were going to put on firing squad that was something I do today. Because you can't say something and then you divert it and say something different again. You always point the man, you say the man right. Then you go say the temple way off. Then every day, one greedy day, he say you carry me on the pool quick. The hard they do the record and 3%. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all too for spicing up the show. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's do it tomorrow, if God permits. Join us this evening at 8 o'clock when the doctor himself, the teacher of the land, the evangelist Anthony at Law A.B. William is in with Face the Issues. You just don't want to miss it. It's going to be explosive as always. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Working for your stomach. Stop slipping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who are, the people lots of us. The government betray us. So the people who are so, the people lie to us. The government betray us. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you lie? There's better things to be. You think we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you screw us. You use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people who are, the people last us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have been broken. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the God that they say they go afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No war for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation is poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But they don't know.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5.